So today, right, we'll have a little bit of a discussion on related to some of the remaining array methods. I know we have seen join the other day, but we haven't seen what reverse does. Okay, so what this reverse array method does is reverses an array in place and returns the reference to the same array. Okay, that is what the reverse array method would do. So which would be something like this. Okay, if I go ahead and see, okay. Now let's say, oh, this is your console. Let's say, is there array 2 existing? No. Okay. Let me create that. Let's say const array 1 is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Okay. This is what the array 1 is. All right. Now we have seen that what the reverse array method does, reverses an array in place and returns the reference. So how do we do that? We just need to take array1 dot make use of reverse. All right, that is what you need to do. So what is it returning, guys? If you see, the index or the array was starting from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now it is appearing in reverse order, that is 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is called reversing an array. So what it's actually happening behind the scene is the indexes are being changed. Okay, that is what is happening now actually. All right, and if you see the next one, what we have is a slice. So slice is kind of a returning a shallow array. Okay, which is nothing but a copy of an array, original copy of an array returns, where it will take the portion of the original array and create a new array object, whereas it will not modify the array. It is something like you are saying, taking a substring of a string. In a string, you are trying to take a substring out of a string. In the same way, slice will take a part or portion of the string, portion of an array, and create its own new array. That is what the slice array does. Slice array method does. All right. And now this has got couple of parameters. One is called start and another is end. Okay. If the start, if you observe that this is a square bracket and square bracket, which means both are optional. You can just specify slice and parenthesis, that's it. If nothing is provided as a parameter, then the start is assumed to be 0, which means it is starting from the index 0. Okay, that is what it means. Let's take this an example here. Let's say the same example, which is sorry, array 1. Array 1 contains 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I want to select a slice of an array, which is part of an array, or a sub, which is a section of an array. For that, what we need to do is array dot slice. And if I just going to give this, which means it will start from 0th index, which is here, it will take all the way to the end of the array, which means it is kind of a copy of an array. Slice without any parameter is as if you are creating a copy of an array. That's about it. But what happens if I give 1 here, which means 0, 1. 1 starts here, 1, 2, and all the way till the end. It is going to take that array. All right, this is taking the slice of an array starting from the index position 1 till the end of an array. And I can give both the parameters 1 comma 1, which is going to give nothing. If I going to give 1 comma 2, then it is going to give one element. 1 comma 2, which is starting from the index position 0, 1. I need to go all the way till the index position 2, which is here. So only 2 will be selected because the end is not included. The end is not included. What does it mean? The index position 0, 1, 2. Actually, 2 should come here, but the end is not included whenever we give start and end position. All right. That is what it means. That is the reason when I go ahead and give 1 and 1, which means you are trying to select something from 1, but one, and you are ending at 1, which means 1 should not be included. That is the reason you are getting an empty array here. All right. So always remember the start is included whereas end is not included. And the next thing is splice. Okay. Splice, what it does, splice method changes the content of an array by removing or replacing the existing elements and or adding new elements. Okay, so splice does also have certain magic here. What it does, it will changes the content of an array. Okay, that's the first thing. And how does it change the content? Either by removing or replacing, which means it is completely removing certain elements, or it can add certain elements. Okay, that is also it can do, which means if 1 2 3 4 is present, I can remove 1 and replace 1 by 9. Okay, then the string, then the array will be 9 2 3 4. Okay, that is possible. And it can completely add new elements as well, which are not there in the array, but it will add completely. We'll see that with an example, then you will be able to understand. But the syntax would be start, which is needed. Then there is what you can give another parameter called delete count, how many you want to delete, and then the items. Okay, number of items that you want to go ahead and add them. All right, let's see that with an example. Let me clear that. Let's say I am going to add something. Let's say numbers is equal to 1 2 3 4. Let's add 4. Now between 1 and 2, let's say I want to add 9. Okay, that is what I want to do. Splice is splice, and after 1 means at the index position 1 I need to add, and now I am deleting nothing, so I need to enter 0. And what I need to add, I need to add, let's say, 99. So if I enter this and if I recall number, so the original array which was containing 1 2 3 and 4 is now containing 199 2 3 4, because this is what the new element that I have added. And number now contains what? Number now contains 5 elements. Suppose I want, here I have added only one element. I can go ahead and add multiple elements as well using number dot splice, maybe at the index position after 1, which means at the index position 2 I want to add 100 101. I can do that. At the index position 2 I don't want to delete anything, but I want to add 100 comma 101 comma 102. Okay, let's add this. And now if I recall 100, so what I am doing at the index position 2, which is 0 1 and 2, at the index position 2 I am adding 100 101 102, which is 100 101 102. 3 elements are being added. Okay, so guys, are you understanding how splice can introduce new elements at a particular position? Okay, now once you, yeah, once you understand this, let me give another usage of splice. Now what does the number contains? Number contains totally 8 elements now. Okay, 1 99 100 101 102 3 2 3 4. Now let's say I want to replace some number, maybe 1 I want to replace by 98. Okay, let's, can, how can we do that? So using splice, number dot splice, starting at a position 0, which is I want to introduce here at a 0th index, and I want to delete this. Okay, which index I want to delete? I want to delete the 0 index. Okay, and that I need to replace it with what? 98. Okay, so what is happening here? I am trying to start at the position 0 because I want to replace 1 by 98. Hence, at a start at the index position 0, and this the delete count. So delete count is let's say I want to delete count, let's say 1, and then which means only one element I want to delete, and then it is replacing by 98. And if I hit enter and recall number, it will be 98, because 98 is replaced at the 0th position, which is at the start. Only one element is deleted, which means only one, which is 1 that was present here. Okay, this one, and 98, 99, 100, 101, 202, and all the way to 3 and 4. Okay, this is again an interesting way. And let's say I want to delete all the elements from this position. Okay, I don't want to replace anything, I just want to delete them. Even that can be done using splice. And here is what we can do: dot splice, and I want to start at a position what? Because I want to delete 2, 3, 4. So how do I delete that? Let's count what position 2 starts. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the fifth position I want to start, and how many I want to delete? Delete the count is 1, 2, 3. So delete count is 3. That's it. And if I hit enter, then if I go ahead and see what is happening, 2, 3, 4 have been deleted. Only 98, 99, 100, 101, 102 are remaining. Any questions you guys have in this splice related example?
No,
Nothing?
sir.
Okay, okay, all right. So with that being said, let's understand a new concept now. Okay, for that to understand, I wanted to give a certain example. Let's say what you're seeing currently is a bio of a world's one of the world's greatest football player called Leo Messi. Okay, so this is the bio of that person. So what does the content reveal to you? There are certain things that you can take away from here. Okay, there is something called as biography, where he has got a team, which team he is playing, which is Paris Saint-Germain, and then there is his height and weight. Okay, those are given in 5 feet 7 inches and 159 pounds, and nationality is Argentina. The position he's playing is a forward position, and date of birth, and how many years of what's his age. Okay, and the career history. So what all different teams that he has played during his football career: Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Argentina, and again these are the teams that he had played. Now imagine that when you want to capture all these values related to a particular player, okay, then how can we do that? So one, you can say that, sir, I can put that everything in a array. Array can take different data types, because as you know, array can have a different data types as well, right? Like for example, const uh, array 2 is equal to, it can go ahead and take 1 comma null comma undefined. It can take undefined, undefined. It can take string. Okay, it can also take begin. All this is possible in an array. Okay, so what you guys are seeing here is an array can take different elements with a different data types. You can add them up. Array takes it happily, wholeheartedly, all those values. But how do you understand what each and individual values are? Okay, like for example, if I go ahead and put this, like maybe I can say const bio player is equal to, or maybe I can say const bio is equal to, I can go ahead and add maybe PSG, which is short form for Paris Saint-Germain, okay, which is a string. All right. And then what is he can have 5 feet 7 inches. Maybe I can add a string like maybe saying 5 feet 7, okay, or 5.7, maybe a number I can add. Let's say, assume it is not right, but assume, let's say this is a decimal, and he plays for a forward, okay, forward position. And let's say he plays for Argentina, Argentina, Argentina. Let's say, and so on and so forth. All those other details can be added. But when you are working with this data type, how do you know what PSG is and what a 5.7 means and what forward means? How can you recall this? You can just go ahead and say index position 0, you will have a PSG. Okay, at the index position, let's say 2, you will have some value here. Okay, but you don't know exactly what these really means. Okay, so storing these kind of values of a particular player with different data types, and there is a certain meaning associated with each data type, is not possible. So in order to resolve this, there is a birth of another data structure in JavaScript, which is known as objects. Okay, so here is where the objects are useful. So what are these objects? Objects are nothing but a collection of properties. It is all about properties. Like for example, a player has got many properties. His team is a property, height and weight is a property, position is a property, his date of birth. All these different properties can be stored in a data structure or a data that is known as objects. Objects are nothing but the collection of properties. And these objects are variables too. They can act as a variable too. But objects can contain many values, like arrays. Like arrays can have many values, even objects can have many values, depending on what property are you talking about. All right. And always remember that objects appear in a key value pairing. So there is a key value pairing. Like for example, in our example here, team is a key, the value is Paris Saint-Germain. And nationality is the key, the value is Argentina. The forward, the position is key, forward is the value. Okay, that is what the key value pairing. Always remember, whenever you talk about object, it is always key value pairing that you will see. Key in that particularly is always a string. Key is always a string, whereas value varies depending on what value they hold. So always remember, the objects appear in key value pairing, and these key value pairing are nothing but properties, and keys are always a string, whereas values can vary depending on what values the key holds. Okay. So rather than accessing data using index, like the way we do it in arrays, we use custom keys, which are these keys. Okay, custom keys. You can define these keys, and the values are returned as name value pairs. That is what we call it as a key value pair or name value pair. Both means the same, and they are separated by colon. Okay, this is how the syntax would be. Now let's go ahead and put this player's bio for using a object. So how can we do that? So let's see this. How can we go ahead and add something called as player's bio here? Let me clear the screen. Const, let's say bio, or player bio, maybe I can say player bio is equal to, always remember guys, like we have array literals, right, where array literal starts with const array name is equal to open square brackets and close square brackets, right? In the same way, the object literal always starts with a curly bracket or a flower bracket, and within that you are going to write the properties, and properties always appear in name value pairing or a key value pairing. So here I can say the name of the player, name is a key, and the value I can put is a Leo Messi. Okay, Leo Messi. And this has to be end with a comma. All right. And then let's say I'm going to go to that. Let's say a name I have taken. Let's take team. Okay. Team. Now team is what? PSG. PSG. So what does this PSG stands for? Paris Saint-Germain. Okay. That is what the PSG means. And then there is what? Position. Okay, we have seen that position. Position is also a string which we call it as forward. Okay, close that. It is a string then because we are talking about this. Okay, let's say maybe I can add height. Height. Height is again a key value pairing. So this is a key or a name, and the height is let's say 5'7". If you convert that 5'7" into maybe let's say centimeters, it might come around 168 or something. Okay, 168, and that is what that is something called as a number data type. Here you are seeing all the three are values are string, and here it is a number. Then there is a weight. Weight is how many pounds? 159. 159. This is also a number. So like this, I can keep on adding everything in relation to a particular player. Let's end it here. I'm trying to end it here just to for the sake. I can go ahead and add age as well, date of birth as well, okay, or nationality as well. But for now, for our understanding, I'll end it here. So this is called a object literal that you are creating. A player bio is an object, and this object contains the properties. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties, and each property is a name value pairing. Name colon followed by a value. A value can be anything. It can be a string, it can be a number, it can be a decimal number, or it can be a function, or it can be an object as well. So object within an object is also possible, which is called nested objects. Like we saw a nested array, this can also have a nested object. Now if I hit enter, this is how the object would look like. Okay, so are you guys able to understand how the object is going to look like?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now how do I access those objects? I can access those objects using a dot operator. Like, let's say I want to access the name of the player. How do I do that? Player bio dot name. So always remember the object name followed by the dot property name, okay, which is a key name. So key here is a name here. So if I say object name, which is players bio dot name, will give me Leo Messi. And then if I go ahead and say player name dot height, okay, so height, if I say, it is going to give me a value of 168. All right, there is another way I can do as well, which is by bracket notation as well. We'll see that how to do it later. And for that, for the time being, understand that object followed by a dot, which is a period operator, then the key value or a name value, key value, will give you the actual value associated with that property. This is the way you access the individual properties of a object. And you can also change, like for example, if I want to change the name, just go ahead, name, let's say where is this? Sorry. Let's say player bio dot name. If I want to say, let's say Rohit. Okay. Now I can go ahead and do this. Okay. Now if I go ahead and recall what the player will player bio dot name, it has changed to Rohit now. because this is what I have modified the object. And if I go ahead and see the player bio is now changed the name to Rohit instead of Leo Messi. Okay, that is where I have modified an object. All right, that is what I have modified on object. How do I delete? You can use delete using a delete operator. Delete, then you give the property name. Like for example, if I want to delete a player's bio, I can go ahead and do that using a delete, delete operator. That's it. And it has returned me true. And if I go ahead and recall, here I don't find a name and the value pairing because that has been deleted. Okay, that is how you can delete a individual property of an object. All right. So all right, I mean, this is what I wanted to talk to you regarding today. This is good enough for the day. All right, thank you guys. You guys have a good night. Thanks.